I was unaware that I had a 15-year-old daughter until the police arrived at my residence. I am at a loss as to what to do, as her mother has been sentenced to life in prison. Greetings, all. A man named I-32 was romantically involved with a woman named K during my adolescent years. One day, K abruptly terminated our relationship without providing an explanation. The police contacted my residence approximately 15 years later. Long story short, K was expectant with my child 15 years ago. She was the subject of numerous drug-related allegations. She responded, "I am the father," when asked if her daughter could attend any family. K and I have a 15-year-old daughter who will be relocating to my residence today following a paternity test. I am not a father. I lack experience as a father and caregiver for adolescents as a result of my lack of a significant other and my sole possession of dogs. After consulting with her social worker, she stated that K was unkind to my daughter and that she will be unaccustomed to structure or being cared for, which will make the transition for her challenging. The social worker recommends that I demonstrate patience and affection for her, regardless of her objections. She has already occupied a room in my residence. In order to prevent her from becoming overwhelmed, I maintained a straightforward approach. Indeed, she is scheduled to arrive today. I am seeking assistance and, if possible, some direction. Most recent information. On Friday, I-32 male disclosed that my 15-year-old daughter was relocating to live with me after a brief period. I was unaware of her existence until her mother was apprehended on multiple narcotic charges. It has been a significant transition for both my daughter and me. I informed her that I realized it would take some time for us to acclimate to this situation, as it was so new to both of us when I first picked her up. It is evident that she has a wealth of experience. She is significantly underweight and is not accustomed to consuming food at all times. In order to prevent her from concealing food that should not be present, I installed a refreshment container in her room. Despite my assurance that she was free to access the kitchen at any time, it has been transformed into a snack receptacle. She appeared to be offended by that. I consume breakfast, lunch, and dinner simultaneously on weekends, which ensures that she is aware that there will be food available. Additionally, she experiences nightmares and screaming. Naturally, she has not disclosed their purpose to me. I am in search of a therapist for her, as the events that transpired were distressing for her, despite my presumption that she will not seek professional assistance. I was able to persuade her to disclose a few additional positive aspects of herself. First and foremost, she cherishes my pets. We embarked on a stroll with them. She is a highly intelligent individual. His hobbies include basketball and reading. Naturally, I disclosed a few personal information to her. She is quite reserved and silent. I anticipated that she would be more reticent, given that I am unfamiliar with her. However, everything has been proceeding smoothly thus far. Second update. I am confident that a significant number of you have perused the post regarding me. 32 males. I was recently informed about my 15-year-old daughter and was granted custody of her. Things are proceeding exceedingly well thus far. Today she was completing her schoolwork in the kitchen. However, she left a few documents out before putting them away as she began to play with my dogs. What were they? I inquired. This week I had exams, she clarified. I requested to observe them. Certainly, she replied. She had already achieved A's on 3 tests: geometry, chemistry, and history, less than 2 weeks into her academic career. I was genuinely rather impressed, not because I doubt her intelligence. Nevertheless, she is currently undergoing a significant life transition and has recently enrolled in a new school. I informed her that it was exceptional and proceeded to elaborate on how, at her age, I was more interested in athletics and friends than in school. She declared, "I enjoy reading and acquiring knowledge. It enables me to withdraw from the realities of existence." Afterward, it dawned on me. She employed it to redirect her attention from her mother's apparent melancholy existence and toward education. Examining. It brings me great sorrow to contemplate it. Version 3. I, a 32 million man individual, have been contributing significantly to this website in recent months. In other words, I recently discovered the truth and was granted custody of my 15-year-old daughter. I am not well informed beyond my own speculations. However, the girl has endured a tremendous deal, and her mother was not an exceptional mother. I was not in the mood to cook, so we went out to eat earlier. When I realized that my daughter had never had tacos before, we went out to eat them. We were engaged in informal conversation when a mother arrived with her 2 diminutive daughters, both of whom were likely under the age of 10. The 3 daughters were evidently in love with one another, and they were evidently enjoying themselves with their mother. My daughter maintained her composure and gazed at them. I refrained from saying anything due to my aversion to listening in on conversations. She stated that she only conversed at random during the journey home. It can be challenging to observe daughters who have a positive relationship with their mothers on occasion. I am envious because my mother and I have never done so. She then expressed her desire to be left alone for the remainder of the evening by beginning to weep. It was a source of great distress to witness her anguish and tears. It is also disheartening to acknowledge that, despite my presence in her life and my best efforts as a father, my daughter spent the first 15 years of her life in a noxious environment with her mother, and I have no authority to alter that. It is appalling that I am unable to provide her with assistance, as she did not deserve to be mistreated and potentially assaulted. I am extremely emotional and despondent regarding my infant. A man from I-32 has disclosed that he has recently acquired full custody of his 15-year-old daughter, of whom he was previously unaware. Just over 2 months had transpired. She is exceedingly critical of me. I have not hollered at her or done anything similar, to be frank. I am cognizant of the ordeal she has endured. In order to provide assistance, both of us are currently undergoing treatment. She has been behaving in an unruly and argumentative manner in my presence for the duration of the week. It has been quite difficult. In the course of one of our disagreements, she disclosed significant personal information to me. I will not disclose. Nevertheless, I will concede that she endured an extremely difficult adolescence. I exerted myself to soothe her. She appeared to be experiencing a panic attack. As we sat in silence, she said, "You know, you're pretty good at the whole dad thing for a newbie." I thanked her, chuckled, and expressed my gratitude for the opportunity to be her father. She expressed her gratitude to her father after a considerable period of time. In all honesty, it was the highlight of my year. I have begun to weep with a sense of joy. The 5th update. After learning that I had an adolescent child with a previous girlfriend, I-32 male has published numerous posts on this website. Furthermore, my daughter's mother subjected her to both physical and mental abuse. After being accused with possession of narcotics, she relocated to my residence. Everything has been proceeding without any complications. She even addressed me as my father at one point. Her treatment has been highly beneficial, and I am currently undergoing therapy to assist her in this significant life transition. A little over a month ago, my daughter began experiencing fatigue, weight loss, pallor, and a general sense of malaise. I initiated the process of bringing her to the doctor due to my apprehension. I visited numerous physicians because, despite their assurance that it was merely a severe cold, it persisted for an excessively extended period. A decision was made to conduct experiments recently. In all honesty, I was unaware of her condition. At times I believed that I was merely a new father and did not need to be concerned about my daughter. Today we discovered that she has leukemia. This impoverished child has already encountered an abundance of obstacles throughout her existence. I am incensed. Fear grips me. It is a challenging endeavor. I have personally witnessed the mental and physical toll of chemotherapy on my family members, and I am aware that my child will be particularly affected. She has not responded since we discovered the information this morning. I am in need of some well wishes, positive thoughts, and perhaps some guidance if you have any. Version 6. I have discussed my daughter extensively on this website. 15 ladies. I only recently became aware of her when the police arrived at my residence and inquired whether I would be willing to admit her. My daughter was the victim of occasional physical abuse and mental abuse at the hands of her mother, who was my previous fiancé. We were just beginning to establish a rapport, and I was merely attempting to get to know her. She was diagnosed with leukemia just over a month ago. The existence of this unfortunate girl has been exceedingly unjust. Inpatient chemotherapy has been administered to her for nearly 1 month. It has been a difficult situation. By either remaining silent or verbally assaulting me, she is venting her anger toward me. There is not much that I have addressed. I can comprehend the reason for her distress. She is only 15 years old and a sophomore in high school, but she has already witnessed a great deal. She has been participating in online therapy sessions with her therapist and conversing with hospital professionals. In a few days, she will return home. It is our hope that she will be able to unwind in her bed. She intends to visit my creatures, whom she holds in high regard. It has been mentally taxing for both of us, but she has been particularly affected. I am aware that she acquired the majority of her weight while residing with me. She was significantly underweight when she joined me. She is currently not consuming food, despite the fact that she is taking anti-nausea medication. Chemo has made reading more challenging, and she is unwilling to listen to audiobooks. Consequently, she is disheartened that she is unable to read, as it has consistently improved her mood. This explains why I tolerated her irritability, as she appeared to be experiencing anxiety and anger. Nevertheless, I inform her of the extent to which her comments annoy me. Nevertheless, I am cognizant of the fact that she is an adolescent who has experienced trauma throughout her life and is currently navigating a challenging situation. Version 7. Greetings to all. She has consented to this. Upon her return home from a month of inpatient treatment, I have included a photograph of my daughter. I am the individual who frequently posts on this site about the process by which I discovered my daughter, a fact of which I was previously unaware. In my previous post, I addressed the process of adapting to her recent cancer diagnosis. She was delighted to be back home, as she was able to slumber in her own bed and revisit our pets. I have been perusing her works. We have commenced the Divergent book series, which is terrific. I am unfamiliar with them. She experienced a greater sense of contentment in the hospital than she had since her return home. Nevertheless, she continues to experience mental fatigue as a result of chemotherapy and illness. It has been difficult for me as well, not in the same way, but simply because I love her and hate seeing her go through this, particularly after everything she has been through. It is also common for her to verbally express her dissatisfaction with me. I comprehend the challenges she faces. She is only 15 years old. He has acquired a significant amount of experience. However, I would like to provide a brief update on the situation. 8th update. Greetings to all. Much time has passed. I have written extensively about my 15-year-old daughter, whom I only discovered approximately 8 months ago. It has been particularly difficult since she was diagnosed with leukemia, a type of malignancy. She has exhibited extraordinary fortitude in spite of her illness. I am exceedingly pleased of her. She is a young woman who has endured a great deal in her life and is incredibly resilient. Nevertheless, tomorrow marks the commencement of a new chapter for my child. My daughter will finally be able to live the life she deserves. While it will not be easy, if all goes as intended, she will gain greatly from a stem cell transplant. Today, my entire family and I are providing her with care, as she will face significant challenges in the near future. Therefore, we implore you to consider and experience our well-being. Furthermore, I would like to extend my gratitude to all individuals for their affection and encouragement. We must convey our warmest regards to AWP, as there has been no update.